Good morning, everyone. My name is MightyStream, and I'm going to do your December the 16th, just for today, in a meditation. I hope you're doing well this morning. I feel very blessed, fortunate to be here with you today. I'm brought to you by Hope Through Navigation, and this is our H.O.O.D Recovery Services. For those of you that are new, H.O.O.D is an acronym, H.O.O.D, that stands for Hope Offered on Demand. I'm creating content daily so that you will always have access to helpful and hopeful information to encourage yourselves. You can reach me at recoveryofhope21@gmail.com. If you noticed in the description of each video, there are a few meetings that I make on Zoom on a regular basis, and I would invite you to come out and enjoy those meetings. On Wednesday at 5 a.m. Standard Eastern Time, I am currently, and not necessarily permanently, but I'm currently hosting on that international meeting that you'll see noted in the comments, only for 1 hour. However, I'll be the chair for that person for that meeting. If you'd like to join me, Wednesdays, 5 a.m. Standard Eastern Time. Now let's get into this meditation. It is entitled, Where There's Smoke. I like that. Where There's Smoke, December 16th. Complacency is the enemy of members with substantial clean time. If we remain complacent for long, the recovery process ceases. Basic text, page 84. Powerful, huh? Recognizing complacency in our recovery is like seeing smoke in a room. The smoke thickens when our meeting attendance drops, contact with newcomers decreases, or relations with our sponsor aren't maintained. With continued complacency, we won't be able to see through the smoke to find our way out. Only our immediate response will prevent an inferno. We must learn to recognize the smoke of complacency. In NA, we have all the help we need to do that. We need to spend time with other recovering addicts because they may detect our complacency before we do. Newcomers will remind us of how painful active addiction can be. Our sponsor will help us remain focused. In recovery literature kept in easy reach can be used to extinguish the small flare-ups that happen from time to time. Regular participation in our recovery will surely enable us to see that wisp of smoke long before it becomes a major inferno. Just for today, I will participate in the full range of my recovery. My commitment to NA is just as strong today as it was in the beginning of my recovery. I hope that's true for all of us. Let's take a moment of silence followed by the we version of the Serenity Prayer. Moment of silence now, please. God, grant us the serenity to accept the things we cannot change, the courage to change the things that we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Just for today, please and thank you. How powerful is that? The smoke that fills the room is being compared to our complacency. It starts out just a faint hint of smoke in the room. It may just be that we're not making meetings anymore, or possibly we just don't interact with newcomers anymore. We make the meeting, but we're not interested in giving anything back freely anymore, even though we received it freely. Or it could be that we no longer call our sponsor. We may have a resentment with our sponsor, and we might be upset that our sponsor doesn't call us. Why should I call my sponsor? My sponsor doesn't call me. I thought sponsorship was a two-way street, right? So there's these different forms that complacency can take place in. And initially, it can often be unnoticeable. However, if we're in fellowship with other recovering people, as the meditation emphasizes, other people will likely be able to notice. And that's easy to do, right? We're each other's eyes and ears, but it's easy to notice other people's problems because we're kind of judgmental and we kind of scrutinize other people all the time. So other people may actually be paying attention to what we're doing, even more so than ourselves, especially if our room, our recovery is starting to fill up with this faint hint of smoke. But generally speaking, where there's smoke, there's fire, correct? And the fire is that we're beginning to become so complacent that our recovery process is starting to come to a standstill. And as time moves forward and as situations move forward, as life happens, see, because technically when we're talking about something happening or something that happens, it's a current state of being that is moving forward. Thus the ending, right? ing. It's continual happening, right? So time is always happening. Situations are always happening. But if you are at a standstill and your room has become complacent and begins to fill up with this smoke, your recovery will cease to move forward. And spiritually, it will seem like it's sliding backwards. And that's mostly if you are complacent. The reason why it seems like you're falling backwards is because time is moving forward. Life is happening around you, and you become too comfortable. And when that happens, I have a few people that I dearly loved. I still love them. They're just not here anymore, right? They became so complacent that they forgot what it was like to share the NA way. They got to the point where, as tight as we were and as close as we were, they were no longer even excited as I was when I would see them out in public. A hug was offensive because they associated the hug with the hugs at the NA meeting. I remember distinctly one lady pulling me aside and saying, "Don't you ever do that again in public." I didn't say I hadn't seen you at a meeting. I said, "Hey, girl, so good to see you," and gave her a hug. But she was with her parents and her grandparent. And she made sure she let me know, "Don't you ever do that again." What are you talking about? We used to go out after meetings, eating, having coffee. You used to come to my house. We do our step work together. What are you talking about? Don't ever do that again. You know, she became so complacent. We have very similar amounts of clean time. She became so complacent that that smoke filled up her room and became a bursting flame. And when she took that one hit, she didn't take no more because she died from an overdose. And that deeply pains me, deeply pains me. And so I'm very cognizant of the fact that I don't want to become complacent. I don't want you to become complacent, and I don't want the people around you in recovery to become complacent. Participate in the full range of your recovery today. We don't need any major infernos. Everyone has 15 minutes of fame, granted, but don't let it be because you left us, right? Don't let it be because we're coming to your service, right? Don't let that be the reason that you get 15 minutes of fame. Make sure your commitment to NA is strong today, as strong as it was when you first got here. I intend to. I love talking to you guys. I think I have about 104 subscribers, and I'm looking forward to having even more. This is so wonderful for my recovery, and I hope it is for yours as well. Let me stop the share. I'm going to have a beautiful December the 16th, and I know you will. I know you will. Talk to you soon.